I'm Delirious, and today I'm going to do a breakdown of how I made the beat to Stepped In featuring Big Tobz and Geko.
Stepped in with the G's looking like 100.
Okay, with this track, the first thing I started with is the drums, because I like my bounce. I start with my bounce first. So with this record, I was going for like an Afrobeat. Me being from Sierra Leone, African boy, I thought, let me do something that has that swing to it. So this is the pattern of the snares, which had that African Afrobeat kind of bounce to it. And then from there, I added my kicks. So kicks. So that's my drum beat. For the kick, I boosted 60 hertz, that's my magic frequency. Let me solo the kick for you. So this is without the SSL EQ. This is with. Has a more warmer sound, kind of boosted some of the highs at around 8K for like 5.4 decibels. And the second kick underneath it, that's the bassy in your chest feeling. You see both kicks together, they sound a lot heavier. There we go. So right now I've got the knock and I've got the boom at the same time. Open hi-hat. Shakers.
All my F-boys waiting for drops on my young chap niggas all the way up in crunch. Stepped in with the G's looking like 100 bands.
Now we've gone through the drums. The next stage for me was just adding one more sound on that pattern to kind of keep it moving. And I went through some samples. I think it was either a machine pack that I had or it was a splice sample. I basically found this kind of siren slash horn. So let me solo that for you. This sound. Okay, so that to me it's different. It's like a siren, like a police siren or something like that. I basically took that, I added some reverb on it. Something I like to do is add saturation or distortion. So I added this Logic Bit Crusher, as you can see, and I just increased the drive by 6.5 dB, and the sound originally sounded like this, but once I added the Bit Crush, this is how it sounds. See, it's got a lot more bite to it. It sounds a bit thicker, so and more exciting. So yeah, I added that sound all together with the drums. See how that sounds. So just before it drops again.
You know my style.
Now that we have the drums, I went on to the main sound. It's chunky kalimba. I think this was from Omnisphere that I got this sound. Played some chords on this. So here's the sound. Played some chords on it. Simple pattern. So again, I like layering up sounds, as I told you with the kicks. I did the same thing with this sound. I added another set of kalimbas. The only difference is this is more of like an electronic kind of sounding kalimba, and as you can hear, it has like a delay to it, so that it just keeps bouncing. And that's simply just the Logic Echo, quarter note, and a short feedback. So it sounds like it's kind of whispering. You hear the sound, and there's a small.
Yo, girl, I love your confidence. Yo, she put her hands on my, says she wanna see that consequence.
Now you've heard the main sound, you've heard the drums. Let me play them all together to see how everything's working together. So that's the groove. And the thing is, there's so much space for the artist, in this case Big Tobz, to like flow how he wants, not too many instruments in the way. This is a main groove, like everything will be built around this. Anything else I add is just to spice it up, but this is like the main foundation of it. So from here I added a bass line, which was a bit different. The thing about my production, I like to fuse different sounds together, so I feel like this bass line is kind of more reggae / dub influenced. The movement of the bass line was like this. Again, I added the SSL EQ boosting 60 Hertz and a bit of the high end on this. And I layered that up with another one. I wanted the bass to sound like it's talking to you, literally. Like when with the drums, I want the bass to sound like it's growling at you, like it's angry at you. So those two basses together with the drums sound like this. So with these two bass sounds, I also had them going through a bus on Logic, and that means basically they're both coming through a group where you can have different sounds which then have their own fader, and you can add effects to all those group sounds collectively. So I put them through a bus and I added Logic's overdrive plugin on it with a boost of 6.75 dB on the drive. So again, that adds a bit more. So it kind of takes away some of the top end and makes it more about the low end, because it's a bass. I don't really want that kind of annoying high frequency to clash with the vocals or any other synth sound I have in that frequency range. So I used this overdrive to kind of shape the sound that I wanted. I had a multi-band compressor on it as well from Logic, just taming the very low end, just making sure that it's not like distorting or farting or anything like that in the big speakers. So I tightened that low end by adding a threshold between 20 and 120 Hertz, just to kind of squeeze that bass a little bit. So yeah, the hardest things to mix in music, as people know, other producers know, is the bass and the kick. Just trying to get those two things to work together is crazy. So you either have to cut some of the low frequencies from your bass or your kick, or you can compress either of those two elements so they work together, or you can sidechain them. But in this, I didn't want to sidechain it. I wanted the bass to hit you hard and the kick to hit you hard at the same time.
Looking like some bags and some shoe boxes. Positive vibe, we don't do toxic. Tell baby girl go low low. Keep you in check if you don't know.
The common structure in a lot of my songs that I like to build up, it's like a story, and with each chapter there's like more layers, more things happen, and then when you reach the chorus, that's like the climax, and then the second verse you kind of calm back down again. So on this pre-chorus, I added an acoustic, not really acoustic, but a kind of guitar sound that I came across, and I added a plugin, OTT, which is from Exofer Records. It's a multi-band compressor, but it adds like a kind of over the top, as you can see from the name, kind of like saturation, and it just makes things sound really aggressive if you use it the right way. So when I take this away, sounds cool, sounds good, but then this just adds a bit more urgency. It sounds like it's almost coming out the speaker. And then I also added a responding kind of counter melody. So this is how that sounds. And that counter melody I actually played again with another mallet, which sounds like this. Cool, even though that glitched for a second, but we'll cut that out. I added, let me play those together so you can hear how that boosts up the pre-choruses on this track. Okay, so this is how those sounds sound together. you can hear, it's really lifted up the energy of the track, just a bit more than how the verses were. But I still felt like something was missing, so I was playing with some sounds. I think it was on Omnisphere. I found this kind of siren synth. Well, I kind of tweaked it and made the synth kind of glide, so it's kind of like a lazy kind of synth. I'll play it for you. This is how it sounds. So and to give this sound some life, I added a slight echo in it. So I'll play the sound originally without the echo. This is how it sounds. Sounds good, but I thought it needed a bit more life. So I firstly added saturation with this soft tube saturation plugin. It sounds a bit thicker and a bit more in your face. And then I added a simple delay, Logic delay, stock plugin. I created like a quick stereo delay kind of effect where on the left I have quarter note, and on the right I have an eighth note, but the one on the left is only 7% mixed. So what it does, it creates like a kind of widening sound. So let me play this and see how it sounds. So you can kind of hear the sound repeats itself slightly, and for me that just adds something to it, adds a bit of sauce to it. So that was also a big part in the pre-chorus. So when you play these sounds together, you got this. It's nice. So it makes the whole thing sound like it's growing. And just after that section, another one of my favorite sections of the song is this kind of bridge / breakdown that I did, where I've taken the drums out and I've added this new deep bass sound, which I use in quite a few of my records. Just playing like a kind of very deep and dark melody. But then when you play that with the rest, this is how it sounds. I've got these pads as well that are playing through. I think these pads were from Gladiator plugin, and again on this I got the saturation. I've also got Waves 1 knob filter on this as well. So as you can hear, it filters so like it's far away, kind of underwater. Then as it gets close to you, as the sound plays, it sounds like it gets closer and closer to you. So that for me adds to the mood. I like adding these small variations which create emotion. So this small section on the track sounds like a movie interlude or something. It sounds like something from Batman or something like that. So I like to just add these small breaks in my beats. So let's hear that. Yeah. Then the 808. Yeah, just random stuff, man. Like, I just like to mix random stuff together, and if it sounds good, sounds good. So yeah, that's the breakdown. Then after that, it just goes back into the hook, which is actually the same as the verse. So for me, I feel like the biggest part for me on this was the bridge, and then it goes back into this part where Tobz and Geko do their hook.
Stepped in a dance, girl, watch me already. I know they want me already. She said I'm gonna be a superstar. I said I must be already.
I just wanted people to be able to vibe, but not be hit by too many sounds and not too many elements at the same time. So I really love what Big Tobz and Geko did on this record. I think the tune's a banger. The track's out on all platforms. The video's out on YouTube. So yeah, DJs, dancers, jump on the tune, and yeah, Stepped in. Check it out, banger.
Stepped in with the G's looking like 100 bands.